My name is Julius Kolawole from the African community. I want to welcome everybody this evening. Give you a quick reasons why we are here. Has to do with Eureka and Charles Odimgbe. The African community in Rhode Island identifies and stands steadfast with Charles in his leadership of Eureka and Chief Executive Officer, and many positive changes among others that he has brought to the agency since appointment 21 months ago. Many of us knew how Richter was before, and we know how improved Richter has been since he arrived as the head of Richter. The ridership of Richter has increased tremendously. Bus lateness has reduced significantly, and the riding public has nothing but commendation for the new Richter. However, we believe the board and the present administration stands on the path of honor by not dishonoring the good work Charles has done at Richter. Based on comment coming from all facets of Rhode Island government officials, elected officials, and most especially the interview comments of Richter, board chair, and world mayor Scott Abdacia on WPRO Morning News with Tara and Andrew, we have every reason to believe that Charles will be back at his desk sooner than later to continue the good work he has started. We would also like to remind all that Charles was hired in November 2010 to perform the very challenging job of reforming and strengthening Richter. While the challenges are many, he has sufficiently answered the question: is Richter management and ridership better today than 2009? It is a resounding yes. We recognize that many of the decisions he has made are tough, which none of his predecessors were willing to confront. But in cognizance, those tough decisions have strengthened Richter. We believe Richter is a stronger agency today as a result of his tough decisions. We like to see the progress continue.
Welcome to the Pepperbird Magazine's Africa Teaching. I'm Karen McLaurin-Chesson, your host. The African community leaders are furious with what has transpired in reference to Charles. And we have a panel here today of people who are willing to share different perspectives and be able to counter a lot of the negativity that need not exist. With that, I'm going to turn to my right and ask our panelists to introduce themselves. To my right.
My name is Victor Ofokansi, a member of the African Catholic community here in Providence, Rhode Island. I know Charles personally. We belong to the same African community and worship at the same church.
My name is Morris Akinkolari, members of the African community, and I serve on the same board with Charles Odimgbe, and I sincerely believe that he has contributed a lot to our community in terms of leadership and role model for our youth.
Again, my name is Julius Kolawole. For many of us who have lived in Rhode Island for many years, we can attest to the challenges, the problems, the headaches, and the scars that Rita has faced for many, many years. Charles has come with solutions, and he has attempted to begin to put those solutions in place. He's a very good friend of mine, and I'm a member of the African community here in Rhode Island.
My name is Victor Adeuse. I am one of the African community leaders in Rhode Island, and Charles is one of the distinguished African community leaders in Rhode Island. And ever since Charles arrived in Rhode Island here, Charles has been a mentor, a leader, somebody with honor, reputation, high integrity. And we, the African community in Rhode Island and its environment, we stand firmly, steadfastly, unshakenly behind him and behind all the good works he has done in Ripta. And we believe the government, the governor, the board should give him the chance to continue the good work he has done for Ripta, not just because of African community, because of the riding public, because of the good things that Ripta can become to the populace of Rhode Island.
My name is Temi Amushan, and I've not known Charles for any reason more than his leadership of Ripta. I do not live in Rhode Island. I just come to Rhode Island and go back to my days, but I maintain an office in Rhode Island for the African Heritage Media. 3 years ago, I was disenchanted about what is going on in the public transportation in Rhode Island. I've been living in big city before. I know what mass transit is all about and what public transportation is all about. But to my surprise, last year, there was a reason for me to board a public bus, and I was so surprised that I waited only for 15 minutes, and one came. On my way back from Woonsocket again, the same thing happened, and I said, oh my God, things are getting better in this state. And somebody just told me that, oh, an African is at the ends of affair. I've never met Charles before. I don't know him from the islands. But beside him being an African, I'm just going to put that aside. If somebody is doing a good job, shouldn't everybody support the person? If everybody is working for the public, shouldn't we all support him? If everybody is doing a good job, why should the union, the politician, and the government parastatals roadblock that kind of person? It is absurd to try to punish somebody that is working for the people. And this is not all about Africans. This is about the riding public. If we allow this to go like this, who knows who is going to be the next? Just think about that.
You know, I think there are a couple of things, gentlemen. I think that it is strong, positive, and great role modeling for you all to come forward and advocate for someone who has rendered a service for several years to the state of Rhode Island. That's number one. Number two, I think it's also very positive that regardless of your background, you and your communities have come together and are concerned, because if what has happened to Charles, and he was not a bus driver, he was the head of Ripta. what about the small people? So you're trying to raise this issue and levels of awareness to the public to make sure it doesn't happen again, A, and B, I'm sure you would like to get the man reinstated. So with that said, why don't we take a segment at a time? All right, what happened in August?
Well, in August, actually, talking about, in August, Charles was placed on administrative leave.
Okay.
And we also have new Kojo publication that speaks to how you uncovered certain inaccuracies within Vita. And that was in the newspaper. And somebody else was placed ahead of it, was made the temporary CEO when Charles was put on administrative leave. Now, from between then and now, a lot of things have happened, and I'm sure the other panelists are going to get into this. If we look at the newspaper, the Kojo part of the story, they have published, there are 5 publications from Kojo. 5. The first one going back to, I believe it's August 24. And I believe the most recent was an article published by Gary Sass in support of Charles. So from Kojo point of view, they have been constantly in the news talking about this. Second, the minority population showed up in large number at the RIPTA board meeting. The most recent, some of them had the opportunity to speak. Third, some of the African leaders met with the government and had almost 1.5 hours conversation about this.
When was this?
This was September 25th, I think was it,
Okay,
Tuesday.
so September. Okay.
Yes. And we had a very, very positive conversation with the governor. This week was an investigative week that decided to forget why the investigation is going on, that forgot why the problem at RIPTA was being set in the right direction to find out and find solution to the problem. So a lot is in the media about this. We think this smear campaign now began by Channel 10 and Channel 11 need to stop. And I'm sure other members of the panel may want to speak to some of these things.
Actually, if I may quickly jump into that. Jim Tarikani of NBC 10 is the person that personally I respect for the job he's been doing in uncovering bad things in Rhode Island. But to say the least, I am livid, highly disappointed with his publication of this past Thursday. I was in my living room, actually before the 6 p.m. news. They've been running about RIPTA for that day that listened to that news. And I said, I was looking for a positive something. I was thinking he has discovered something. And to the greatest surprise that I had was when it started with narratives of what in any shape, form, or way has anything to do with what was going on with what is going on in RIPTA. Instead of investigating the cause, the root cause of the problem in RIPTA, what Tarikani did was what I would call Ashet's job, yellow journalism. because the problem is about Rita. It's not about Mr. Charles Odimgbe. And most of the things that were said by G. Tarikani and his reporters, they are what I call moral issues. Somebody got bankrupted in 1992. Come on, this is 2012. What has that got to do with the problem of Rita? And there is one thing he mentioned again.
In 1992, a lot
Yes.
of other people were filing for bankruptcy.
Donald Trump filed bankruptcy in America. As we speak, many people are filing bankruptcy. There's nothing criminal about that. And I'm very sure that the board who interviewed did a background check. And I don't even want to go to that. The question I have for Jim is that, is this investigation about the past life of Charles Odimgbe, or about how to improve Rita, the ridership, and how to take politics out of corporate things in Rhode Island?
Okay, yes, and that's just another thing I wanted to ask the panelists, because nobody, I don't know of anybody highlighting the accomplishments of Charles during his limited tenure. He started in 2010, right?
Yes,
He's only been there for 2 years,
21 months.
21 months. During 21 months, can we, what, I've seen positive ads about riding Rifta.
Yes.
But could you share some other things that he has accomplished during that short period?
Yes, I think I can talk about Charles as a person and what he has been able to do for Rita and for the community of Rhode Island. Since Charles got into office, it is a common knowledge. We can read that in the print media and on television, that he's been able to reduce the amount of overtimes that were unnecessarily being done at Rita to about 50%.
Which is savings to the state.
And the amount of money, when he came in, there were mega bucks of running in red. And he's been working tirelessly to bring it down, and has done that to a lot of extent. The ridership of Rita has increased by a substantial amount. My brother here mentioned about the short amount of time it took for the bus to come. That is what is happening today in today's Rita, as opposed to what was happening 22 months ago. Remember we said he started 21 months ago.
Yes.
I'm talking about 22 months ago, 23 months ago, and down the line. Let me talk about Charles also in the community, because the job he does for Rita is not what Charles is only all about. He came to the community and took a leadership role in our community, mentoring the younger children and being a big role model for them. The same thing in the church where we worship. We happen to worship at the same church. He did that also. When he came, our community at the church was in ramble because we were losing our church minister. Now, with his help, we were able to make up a leadership group in the church that has turned the church around. Now, when you look at the history of Rhode Island, people talking about the financial situation and economic situation of Rhode Island, people tell you that even young kids who go to school in Rhode Island leave Rhode Island right after school. And the ones who went to school somewhere else do not want to come to Rhode Island. Let us really examine what this does to this community. Not the African community only. I mean the Rhode Island community. When somebody who came from somewhere is doing a good job and is being attacked like it, what makes somebody else to come back here? Somebody who has these kind of qualities that we quote say we want. What will attract anybody to this society? When somebody who is here doing a good job is being attacked by the people he's supposed to be working for, what will make somebody else who has the kind of skills to come in here and improve the state? What will attract them to come here? We need to really examine all this and see what we are trying to do to this society.
Let me just mention one or two points that I said. And this is not coming from the minority community. This is Projo publication dated September 26. Garissa said, the authority should also make it clear, talking about transparency, if anything Odimgbe has done to deserve input on administratively. We like an answer to that question. The mayor, the chair, Nari, Abdesia said he expects Odimgbe to meet with the subcommittee of the board next week. Meanwhile, he said, I think people need to stop and
Who
let
is
us.
this saying that?
The chairman of the board.
Chairman of the board.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And he went further, he said, the suspension came in the midst of a criminal investigation of a security breach at the authority that Odimgbe reported to the state police. Someone placed a coat over a security camera in a room where cash from fare boxes passes on its way to the money room where it is counted. Now, the reason this is important as part of this answer is that we've left the problem alone. And we are busy with character assassination of the chair.
Oh, okay.
Okay? I think the CEO character needs to be left out of all of it. If Jim wants to do character assassination, he needs to find somebody else to attack. The smear campaign needs to stop. And let us go back and focus our attention on the real issues, okay, which the chairman of the board clearly articulated in his many speeches. Okay? So, yes, we can go back and talk about all the accomplishments of Charles and their men. But I think while we talked about the I-team and the character assassination practices, I'm very disappointed in him. And it goes back to what Victor said. Who is next would like to come to this thing? For what reason? If they want to go back to the old way they used to do things, they can just give him his character, his integrity, and all that he brought with him, and let him go on his way. This man, personal, unrelated to the issue, need to stop.
I think Charles characters needs to be restored. It is very, very important for all of us in the community because we are really, really disturbed. If somebody is doing a good job and then you compensate them with or alienate them as a person that is committing crime, it's unheard of. You know, you brought this guy in to make changes. When you want to make changes into a department, you know what is going to happen. Apparently, things are not working the way some of these union members want it. So, Charles now have been proclaimed to be the big victim of the system. Somebody that is helping Rifta to balance their budget. And I sincerely believe, I think at one point in time, if you look into the record, Charles has done well in balancing Rifta's budget.
Actually, he has balanced it twice now.
So I am surprised, you know, who is behind the I-team report. We are curious to know, why are they doing this? Is it possible for them to turn the table around and focus on the real issue that is happening?
Have you approached them?
We have
This is one mode.
Yes, this is part of us getting out the message that I think they are looking at it differently. You know, we need to redirect, you know, them have to look at this problem.
Yes.
The problem is not Charles. The problem is Ripta. What is happening in Ripta? That's what we need to look at. You know, so I mean, we are as a group. I mean, Charles coming to town is like a role model. I mean, Charles is like go-getter. Do something, balance up the community with the workforce. I could remember when Charles was telling us some of the information that we are lacking as Ripta, getting our people to get a job over there. He actually come to the community and do some workforce training. Work for how can you get a job with Ripta that helps the Black and Latino caucus and Urban League to do a program for the community. Ordinarily, we don't have that information, but through Charles, we are privileged to know that you can actually do some certain things, you know, at Ripta. But before, I mean, 2 years ago, we don't have a clue. And I sincerely believe if you look into that, the outcome of that is a positive one, you know, for everybody in the community, that at least you are privileged to know what is really new Ripta is. You know, so you know, to me personally, you know, Charles has done a lot in the time frame of just 21 months. I mean, look at the record. Now, the record speaks for itself. Not character assassination the way ITM is done. It's not helpful, and it's not going to help anybody. Like all the panel have said, if you want to come to Rhode Island and help, are you going to help under this circumstance? So you want to come to Rhode Island and say, let's play the game as it used to be. Don't change anything, just collect your money. I don't think that is helpful to the budget. I don't think so.
Unfortunately, from inside, that is part of Charles' problem. Sensitizing the minority on how to get a good job, a good paying job. Those are the unspoken sins they were counting against Charles. Getting the minority to get a good job. Doing trainings in the minority enclave. Come to think of it, why should the union support any changes? The unions sometimes constitute a clog in the wheel of progress. Who are the unions supporting? The unions are supporting their own jobs. So whoever is going to reform an institution is going to be fought by the union. Who is Charles doing the counting of money? No. Is Charles physically counting money? No. So if they were helping themselves with physical cash or doing something to the money, and Charles came to discover it, shouldn't a sensible committee know that Charles is exposing some bad behavior over there, and is going to be stepping on toes?
And what happened to those people?
Thank you. That should be the question everybody should be asking the panel. When you're helping to balance a budget, it's a crime for those people who doesn't want the budget to be balanced, or who are stealing, or who are helping themselves. Now they're killing the messenger and forgetting the message. This is just a smear campaign. They want to do things the way it's been done in the past. And whoever is going to reform an organization like RIPTA will be dealt with by those people who are pulling it back. The good old boys are behind all this nonsense. This is shenanigans. It should have no place in the modern society like this. If we are preaching that some people are not democratic enough, they're not doing good things, and we want to welcome people into our own society to enjoy the benefit of the largesse of American society, and we're smearing them like this. Why should we complain about those people that are not doing anything outside this continent, outside this country? They were just picking on Charles because of who he is, because of the transformation he's bringing into RIPTA. Nothing more. And let us address the issue of a 20-year-old bankruptcy. Who in America of today does not know that times are hard? If you're making 2 million before and you're making 1 million, you're still in deficit of what you used to make it. And for somebody, even if you filed for bankruptcy before, for somebody to file for bankruptcy and reposition himself, companies are filing for bankruptcy to reposition themselves.
Let's look at 38 studios.
The federal government is actually helping some people to get out of bankruptcy.
Yes.
Companies. The federal government is reimbursing companies. What are they talking about? This is absurd. You're living the real issue, and you're attacking somebody's personal. Oh, what is Charles' last name? Can anybody tell me Charles' last name here?
Odimgbe.
Is it Jones?
No.
Smith? No.
Is it Clinton?
No.
I rest my case.
And I may quickly jump in. And I want us to be actually focused on why we're here, and my co-panelists have expressed in an excellent form most of the things. But one thing that we would like to know, the African community, is one of the things that have been said by Mr. Sasse, that what relationship does the man who discovered, and let me clarify something, as at now we cannot say money is missing because it's still under investigation, so we leave that job for the state police, and we believe at the end of the day they will do a good job. But the question we want Mr. Tarikani and his crew of reporters at NBC 10 is, what has that bankruptcy got to do with the rot that Charles is cleaning in Ripta? That's number one. Number two, somebody, please, the chairman of the board, Mr. Governor, the legislatures in Rhode Island, the chairman of the transport committee, both in the Senate and the House, you need to pick the gallant up in this case. What has Charles done wrong? And why is he being assassinated? What has that got to do with Ripta issue? If they can answer the African community these two questions, and we know the answer already. Charles has not done anything wrong. He has been a role model, like my co-panelists have said. He has turned Ripta around, and he wants to continue. And we want to be able to answer our children who are asking us the question. You told me Charles is doing a good job at Ripta. Why was he put on administrative leave? We have no answer. Mr. Governor, the chairman of the board, Mayor, please answer us this question.
Can I just add one other thing to that? One more question that I'd like to add to what you said. When will Jim Tarakoni do an investigative reporting on Rita? When was the last time he did something like that on Rita? I think it would be nice to have that question answered. And I just, some of the things that is going on in the community, and I just want to read one or two lines. This is from some other members of the community. I smell a rotten rat. I know a foul play when I see one. That is the message the community is getting. And it seems to me that the character issue is an attempt to kill off the community support. The citizens of Rhode Island are strongly in support. Grow Smart is not an African organization. Okay? They wrote a lengthy article in support of Charles. People see the true facts. It seems like the people who are kind of blind to this are the Tarakanis of Channel 10, and he needs to go back and do his job that he's been paid to do. Find out what is going on in Rita.
And gentlemen, I would send him a little note to that effect and to Channel 10 as well. It always helps if those things are in writing to encourage that kind of investigation. And maybe he's not the right person to investigate. Maybe it's Channel 12 eyewitness. Maybe they need to investigate. Anyway, what is the process now? How long does Charles have to wait? You said that there's going to be a hearing.
There's a meeting this week. No, this coming week.
On Thursday.
On Thursday, yeah.
Okay.
But it's a private meeting, I think it's between the board and
The board and Charles, okay.
we don't know what that's all about. It's their business.
Okay. Can I ask, just to be clear, who put him on administrative leave? The board? Did the board put him on administrative leave?
If the question is who signed the letter, the answer to that would be yes, it is the chair of the board.
So they have that power.
Yes. Yes. All we are asking for is transparency. Tell us why. Tell the citizens of Rhode Island why.
Since the citizens are the beneficiary of RITA, why would anybody keep them in the dark? The writers are enjoying the work of RITA, not even Charles for now. RITA is doing so good, it's doing so well. And the person that is directing the affairs of RITA is being sanctioned for doing the right thing, for repositioning RITA. Shouldn't the writers, shouldn't the common man on the street that is writing these buses know something that the head of the organization has done wrong to warrant being fired or to warrant being suspended?
Rather than blackmailing.
This is a democracy. If this happens in Libya, Iraq, or whatever, they'll say because they're not democratic. What is democratic in assassinating somebody's character? What is assassinating? I mean, what is democratic in sidelining somebody that is doing a good job and you're not even telling anybody what he has done wrong? I'm not saying anybody is a saint. That is not, if you are alleging that I did anything wrong, please come out with it. That is all we are asking now. What has he done wrong? Come out. Don't treat this within the board. The board is becoming a circus. This is not a secret court. And I believe the boards are enjoying the taxpayers' money. We are taxpayers. We are demanding that whatever this man has done be on air. Put it in the open. Let us know what he has done. What is difficult in that?
Nothing.
Thank you very much.
It's a very reasonable request. And with this, folks, you've heard it here firsthand. The African community leaders want to know why Charles was put on leave. The African, not just leave, but what did he do? Is there some justification for that? That's one piece of it. Another piece of it is, this man has worked within the community. He has only been in the state of Rhode Island for 21 months.
Yeah.
He's anchored himself in a religious community. He's anchored himself within the community development initiatives. He's reached out to the Urban League, the NAACP, and tried to educate folks on opportunities that are under RIPTA. That's not his job, but he did that. So, we wish and hope that soon the African community leaders will have some answers. And my goodness, you do deserve it. So that's it for now, folks. I want to thank our panelists for taking this time to share the information on the man and the media coverage that has been unfair, and the positive media coverage that Charles has done. And I do hope that very soon we'll have some music. I hope that the announcement is extended. I know that you're a host too, or you wouldn't be here.
Yep.
And I thank you for taking this time on Africa Teacher to share your views with our public.
Thanks for having us.
We hope the next time we come back here, Charles will be back on his seat as the CEO of RIPTA.
Yes. Yes.
Love is all we need.